Imagine a beast born from the fusion of unparalleled engineering and a thirst for dominance. A creature that roars down the asphalt, its heart pulsating with raw power, its presence demanding respect from every corner of the automotive world. Its roar isn't just heard, it's felt, sending shivers down the spine of anyone fortunate enough to witness its might. Before you even see it, you feel its presence, a palpable energy that tells you this isn't just any car. And then, as it emerges from the shadows, you recognize it, the embodiment of Japanese automotive perfection. Meet the legend, the icon, the monster, the Nissan GT-R, or as we like to call it, Godzilla. But what makes such a marvel come into existence? What cosmic alignment or sheer determination brings forth a legend that doesn't just exist, but dominates? As the dust settles from its thunderous introduction, let's dig deeper, peel back the layers of time and innovation, and go on a journey to the very roots of this automotive marvel. Let's discover the why and how of its creation. The Nissan GT-R, often hailed as the pinnacle of Japanese performance, has a history as rich and dynamic as its performance on the track. While today it's a symbol of speed and engineering prowess, its journey began in the post-war era, rooted in a Tokyo ward named Suzunami. Here, the Tachikawa Aircraft Company, once a manufacturer of fighter planes for the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force, transformed into Fuji Precision Industries post-World War II. This company would later be renamed Prince Motor Company in honor of Prince Akito, the then future Emperor of Japan. The first Skyline model was unveiled by Prince in 1957, not as the performance beast we know today, but as a luxury saloon. However, the Skyline's association with the iconic movie monster Godzilla began in the early 60s when it featured in several Toho Fuji Media films. The Skyline's transformation from a luxury vehicle to a performance powerhouse actually began in 1964 when Prince decided to introduce a performance-modified Skyline to the racetrack. In this version, the Skyline 2000 GT was an instant hit in GT racing and soon found its way into the Japanese market. In a bid to strengthen Japan's automotive industry post-World War II, the government merged 10 of its top automotive manufacturers into 3 major conglomerates. Prince was incorporated under the Nissan Datsun brand in 1966, setting the stage for the Skyline's evolution. By 1969, the first high-performance Skyline, the Nissan Skyline 2000 GT-R, made its debut at the Tokyo Auto Show. This version was a force to be reckoned with, boasting a 2.0-litre inline-six engine from the R380 race car and producing 160 horsepower. The GT-R's journey wasn't always smooth. The international oil crisis of the early 1970s led Nissan to halt its production, and a new GT-R wouldn't be seen for another 16 years. The 1980s, however, marked a resurgence for the GT-R. With Japan's economy booming, Nissan reintroduced the GT-R, starting with the R31 Skyline in 1985. This model set the stage for the R32 in 1989, and boy oh boy did the R32 bring a shift. It was a car like no other, with Nissan's all-wheel drive Atessa ETS system and a 2.6-litre twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine built by Nissan's sports division Nismo that produced a staggering 320 horsepower. But the Godzilla would make itself known not on its home turf, but 4,000 miles south in the scorching heat of the Australian continent. The Australian Touring Car Championship, a prestigious racing event, was the playground for many automotive giants. Dominating the podium for years was the formidable Ford Sierra Cosworth, a car that seemed unbeatable, a car that had the heart of the Aussies. Enter the underdog from the east. The Nissan R32 Skyline GT-R, a car from Japan, a land known more for its technological prowess than its racing pedigree, was about to challenge the status quo. The R32, with its twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine and innovative 4-wheel drive system, was a stark contrast to the raw power and rear-wheel drive machines that the ATCC was accustomed to. From the very beginning, the R32 made its intentions clear. It wasn't there just to participate, it was there to conquer. Race after race, it began to outpace, outmaneuver and outperform its competitors. The once indomitable Ford Sierra Cosworth found itself dethroned by this Japanese marvel. The Australian press, both amazed and intrigued by this unexpected turn of events, needed a name that encapsulated the essence of this beast from Japan. And what better than Godzilla, the monster from Japan? A creature known for its sheer power, dominance, and an ability to topple even the mightiest. The R32 didn't just win races, it won hearts. Australia became its first export market, officially launching in 1991. Other markets were soon to follow as the R32's reputation as a performance masterpiece grew. It wasn't long before this modest Japanese saloon was recognized by automotive enthusiasts around the world. The GTR had found its home with the enthusiast community, and it has been there ever since. But the Godzilla was far from retirement. It had yet to evolve, to acquire its ultimate form. The world had seen what Nissan could achieve, and expectations were sky high. The automotive world waited with bated breath, and Nissan did not disappoint. Enter the R33. Often overlooked in the grand scheme of things, the R33 was a significant update to the R32. Building on the success of the R32, the R33 was a further evolution. It carried forward the legacy of its predecessor with a touch of refinement and sophistication. The bodywork became slightly more aggressive and four-wheel drive became standard. The engine, still the heart of the GTR, received minor upgrades, pushing its performance boundaries even further. In 1996, after showcasing its prowess at Le Mans, Nissan introduced a 400 horsepower Nismo version of the R33, further solidifying its place in performance car history. But while the R33 was a worthy successor to the R32, it was merely setting the stage for what was to come next. Then came the fan favourite, the R34, a name that sends shivers down the spine of every car enthusiast. It wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon. Its aggressive stance, combined with a design that seemed to be sculpted by the gods themselves, made it an instant classic. From its inception, the GTR was envisioned not just as a car, but as a work of art. Its silhouette, with its low-slung stance and sweeping lines, speaks of speed even when stationary. The iconic quad-circular taillights, a signature element of the GTR, serve as a nod to its rich lineage, while also symbolizing its forward-looking vision. Every curve, every crease, and every angle of the GTR is meticulously crafted, not just for visual appeal, but for aerodynamic excellence. The design isn't merely skin-deep, it's rooted in performance. The vents, the spoilers, the diffusers, each element plays a crucial role in optimizing airflow, enhancing stability, and ensuring that the GTR remains grounded even at blistering speeds. Under the hood, the R34 was a beast. Its ceramic twin-turbo inline-six engine roared to life with 280 horsepower in its base form. But in the hands of expert tuners, this machine transformed, reaching staggering outputs of over 800 horsepower. But the R34's legend wasn't just built on racetracks or in tuning garages, it was etched into the very fabric of pop culture. Remember those nights, controller in hand, racing through virtual streets in video games with the R34 as your weapon of choice? Or the adrenaline rush as you watched Brian O'Connor in The Fast and the Furious maneuver his iconic blue R34 through one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. But how does the Godzilla fare against the fierce JDM competition? In the realm of Japanese performance cars, three names often rise above the rest, each with its own legion of devoted fans and a storied history of performance: the Nissan GT-R, the Mazda RX-7 and the Toyota Supra. While each of these cars is a legend in its own right, let's see where the GT-R stands. The RX-7 is poetry in motion. Its hearty, unique rotary engine sets it apart. While it might not boast the same horsepower figures as the GT-R, with the third generation pushing around 255 horsepower, it's the RX-7's agility and lightness that make it special. It's quick, it's nimble, and it's absolutely beautiful. Then there is the Supra. The Supra is a name that resonates deeply within the car community. Its 2JZ engine is legendary, a canvas for tuners worldwide. In its stock form, the fourth generation Supra produced around 320 horsepower, but its true potential is unlocked when modified, with some tuned versions reaching well over 1,000 horsepower. But beyond the numbers, the Supra's balanced chassis and iconic design make it a favourite among enthusiasts. But when it comes to raw performance, the GT-R has no equal. The Godzilla's all-wheel drive and aggressive power delivery make it a formidable opponent on the track as well as on the streets. With its subsequent iterations, Nissan only managed to refine their masterpiece and push the boundaries further. But while its specs might be impressive, what truly sets the GT-R apart is its soul, its legacy. A deeply ingrained part of automotive history is what gives this car life. It's what makes it the perfect amalgamation of art and engineering. Over 3 decades later, the GT-R still stands tall as the king of Japanese performance cars, an icon that continues to inspire generations of enthusiasts around the world. Long may it reign. Thank you for watching. Do you agree with our verdict? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more automotive content.